Tell you, first of all, it's not very often that a landfill is honored by the distinguished guests that we have here today. So I want to thank each and every one of you for coming. Many of you I'll introduce. Many of you will say some words. We have a lot of folks from our Oklahoma Department of Environmental Quality. We want to welcome them. Many of our partners that help us put this thing together. We have one of the largest contributing factors, our Vice Mayor of City of Sand Springs, who brings us a lot of refuse. And without getting too technical, I'd like to start by simply stating that, what we're doing here today is we are harnessing methane gas. Methane gas is a very destructive gas. Many people have heard it as being a greenhouse gas, one that destroys our ozone and contributes to global warming. It's a state and federal requirement that landfills, once they reach a certain level, do something with that gas. And you can either flare it off in a smokestack and waste it, or you can work with partners like we are working with today to harness that gas and convert it to electricity. And we're very excited about that opportunity. I have some experts here today that will talk about renewable energy. We all hear that word renewable, sustainable, and recycling, and all of those things. And you hardly associate recycling with a landfill. And I think that's kind of where I get so excited, is that, everybody thinks of us as just the dump. But we're a lot more than that. And I want to thank you again for coming today and listening to the people that are going to speak and give you a real understanding of really the achievement that has taken place here. I couldn't go a moment further without bringing up the man that made all this happen. A guy by the name of Kenneth Burkett. Started off with some pretty humble roots. Came from Pennsylvania as a boy with literally holes in his shoes. He got him a garbage truck. He made payments on it because he didn't have the money to buy one. Rumor has it he even borrowed money to put the fuel in the first tank of gas that he ran the truck with. He started picking up garbage. He now owns the largest and most recognized waste company in the state of Oklahoma and probably the Midwest in a 5-state region. We are now at American Waste Control, the company he started. You see the tan dumpsters all over the city. We're now in the top 50 largest waste companies in the world. So that's pretty significant to be owned by one man. Most of the companies are all publicly traded and have numerous stockholders, but this happened because of Kenny Burkett. This landfill, Kenny purchased in 2000, and at that time, and I've got a couple of members from the DEQ here, the Department of Environmental Quality here, I think that they will probably nod that it was considered to be the worst landfill in Oklahoma. And not because of environmental issues, but because of the way it was operated. One of the worst operated landfills in Oklahoma. And I think if you ask them, they will now say, as many of them have said over the phone to our clients and to many others, that they consider it to be the best operated landfill in the state of Oklahoma. And we're very grateful for that designation. I keep trying to make them put that in writing, but maybe someday we'll get there. As general manager for AEL, I'm extremely proud that we have an owner that has never stopped paying it forward, as the saying goes. He understood that landfills were always going to be an integral part of society. How many of you have heard the term zero landfill, zero waste? We all hear those buzzwords. A lot of people may not know this, but the incinerator that Tulsa's trash goes to, for instance, a third of what goes there is ash. It comes out in the form of ash. Guess where they send it? Right here. So waste to energy as they would lead you to believe, does generate waste. And what we have done and what we're able to do is take that waste and with the help of our partners, convert it into electricity. And I'll let the gentlemen that know the most about it actually take the time to explain how that works. But Mr. Burkett, he knew better. And with the cooperation of these partners here today, he made it possible that all citizens, even those that don't recycle at the curb, many of y'all know Tulsa, Sand Springs is looking at one. A lot of the cities, Broken Arrow, a lot of them are looking at curbside recycling programs. But even those cities and those individuals that are not able to recycle at the curb, when their waste comes here, it truly is recycled. Literally, by flipping a switch, your lights come on. So, from the discards of society, it was Kenneth Burkett's vision that led us to where we are today, where waste can simply turn on a light switch. I want to salute you, Kenny. I want to thank you. You've always been a pioneer in this industry. You've always had a vision for what needs to happen in the future. And this could not have happened without you. And I thank y'all very much for listening to me, very much. That was actually a pretty good short speech for me because Tom will tell you, if I don't go by my notes, I get real lost. I want y'all to welcome and join me in welcoming one of our key partners, Mr. Chris Davis, the Vice President with Montauk Energy. Chris, don't be shy. Let the people know the investment, the extreme investment that Montauk Energy put out there, because I think dollars and cents puts it into perspective. Don't be shy at all. Chris, thank you very much.
It's always tough to follow Todd. Sets the bar awfully high. All right, well, I am Chris Davis. I am the Vice President of Development for Montauk Energy. So I'm going to speak this morning about our project we've done with our partners here. But before I go into my remarks, what I do want to do is introduce others that are here from Montauk. We've got Dave Herman, who's our President and CEO, Marty Ryan, who's our Vice President and General Counsel, Rick O'Mahony, who many of you have interfaced with, who is the Vice President of everything that needs to be done in a timely manner and under budget. We've got Dan Bonk, Director of Technical Services, Adam Andara, and Chris Randolph from our operations team. So that being kind of an intro of the folks we've got here, just want to say that Montauk Energy has nothing to do with Long Island, but it doesn't change the perspective that we are extremely pleased to be here to join with American Waste Control and the Oklahoma Municipal Power Authority in announcing the completion of this facility, Montauk's newest renewable energy facility. And this is the first landfill methane to renewable energy facility in the state of Oklahoma. It is the first and it is the only. If I could set a theme for today, the theme is this project truly represents the intersection of environmental stewardship that American Waste Control has adopted and the renewable energy supply that Oklahoma Municipal Power Authority is looking for its members. It is unique and it is true that this is the intersection of those two facets. In the 25 plus years that Montauk Energy has been in operation, we've built a solid reputation as the premier developer, owner, and operator of landfill methane-based renewable energy projects. We produce renewable electricity, such as what you see here, and we also produce renewable natural gas at other facilities. Today's discussion, of course, marks the completion of this construction project, but it also marks the beginning of a long-term supply of renewable electricity for OMPA's members. So coming back to being the first landfill methane to electric project in Oklahoma, there were many challenges to overcome. So without making it too wordy, I do want to acknowledge some of the organizations and people that helped us as a team get through what at times was a very arduous process. State of Oklahoma and the governor's leadership for creating the Renewable Portfolio Standard and establishing a climate for renewable energy projects such as this. The American Waste Control Company and the American Environmental Landfill for their patience and always present spirit of cooperation and collaboration toward the common good, getting this project done. Oklahoma Municipal Power Authority for their support and their interest in the project, and for their invaluable assistance in addressing some of the complex electric transmission issues of being the first project of this type. AEP PSO for their creativity and attention to detail in getting the renewable energy project in a form where that power line could be built, which would allow us to interconnect with transmission grid so that we can supply OMPA so they can supply their members. Others that may be behind the screens but nevertheless had key roles. HR Green companies and their subcontractors and vendors. Do want to make a special acknowledgement of Dave Dufour of HR Green, the construction manager. It was critical, and I got to razz him a little bit. His mantra, if you can't be on time, be early, really helped. Cleveland Brothers for their creativity in ensuring the Caterpillar engines and the compartments, the containers met our requirements. Warren Cat for their support and all of the local activities. And then the numerous equipment suppliers, Shell Better, Perennial Energy, Cooper Energy, the folks that you see on the banners out front. In terms of the dollar amount of this investment, in hard cash, for lack of a better or perhaps more crass description, this project represents about $6 million of new investment in the state of Oklahoma for this facility. Now that's on top of the work we do with American Waste Control with the collection system, which is a living, breathing system. So there is a lot of activity there, but more important than the hard dollars is the number of people and especially skills that go into an investment like this. Dollars alone can't do it, attitude alone can't do it. It's a combination of dollars, attitude, spirit of cooperation, and skill. So, I'll wind down my comments, because as my children say, Dad, I got a question, but I don't have all day, so we can make it quick. Montauk Energy is proud to have played a key role in this first landfill methane through renewable electric energy facility in Oklahoma. The facility you see behind us truly reflects the theme as we see it, the intersection of environmental stewardship and renewable energy. So at that, I will turn it over to Charles Lamb. And before I do, I will note that Rick O'Mahony be glad to take folks inside the fenced area after this ceremony if you've got questions or curious how the equipment is configured in the layout. We've got a cardinal rule. I don't play in his sandbox, he doesn't play in mine.
Well, I'm Charles Lamb. I represent the City of Edmond on the OMPA board and currently am chairman. OMPA was one of the first organizations to sign a wind power contract here in Oklahoma. We represent 39 member cities. We've always prided ourselves on a diverse power supply. We've been providing power to our member cities since 1985. We got our first wind farm came online in 2003. But as a part of our diverse power supply, we're always paying attention to the opportunity to do things that are green, they're sound, they're environmentally wise. And when we first heard about this project, we said we want to be involved. And we kept after Dave to stay involved, stay on top of this. And it was slow coming online, but we're very proud to be here, very proud to have it as part of our generation resource. And we're pleased. We're pleased we're taking the power and have been, I think, for about a month. And we're excited about that. So thank you all.
We're very honored to have Jay Albert, our Deputy Secretary of Energy for the state of Oklahoma. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to be part of this event today. I drove over with Cindy and Charles, and when we were talking about coming to this event, I said, well, we can take our Natmobile. We have a natural gas vehicle. So we drove over here on methane, and we're here talking about another way to use methane. And so definitely want to commend Montauk for the investment that they've made in the state, to AEL for your commitment to sustainability, and for your investment here, which is entirely consistent with what we want to be doing in Oklahoma when it comes to improving our energy system. Taking waste, which a lot of times people don't consider as an energy resource, and putting that to productive use and generating electricity to provide power to consumers. So to OMPA, to AEL, to Montauk, to all of those partners that have helped make this possible, thank you.
I was hoping very much that he'd come. I didn't know for sure. But Fenton, on behalf of the Department of Oklahoma Environmental Quality, would you mind making a few comments? Fenton goes way back, and he is behind everything that happens in the state that is recycling, sustainability, and has made our state what it is doing.
Well, I can't think of a better way to celebrate Earth Day with a project like this. And since this is around the time of Earth Day and part of our Earth Day celebration, I was thinking back to the very first Earth Day, which occurred in 1970. I was a student at Edison High School here in Tulsa, and I helped organize the first Earth Day. Understand you were a one-truck operation at that time, so things have changed and changed much for the better. So thank you all for being here. Thank you for inviting us.
Before I ask our CEO, Tom Hill, to wrap up our comments, there's just a couple other people I want to thank. Jake Bruno, Paula, other members of our our Osage County Planning and Zoning Commission. None of this that you see would have really been possible without their behind-the-scenes support of our landfill, support of the permits that it requires to get this done. Paula worked tirelessly, as did Jake and other members of the office, to solicit and engage support within our community of Osage County. It required permits not only to expand the landfill that they worked tirelessly to help us do, but it also required a permit to make this waste to energy thing happen. And without their behind-the-scenes effort, it would not have happened. So I thank y'all so much for coming today, and I really, really do. Tom Hill, our CEO of all three of our companies, and I think he's going to let you know how green we are all over.
Well, today, through this initiative, which you will see with the tours to follow, we really have advanced the state of Oklahoma through its directive to be more environmentally responsible. Private enterprise, and I have to look to entrepreneurs like Kenny, private enterprise has stepped up and taken the role once again to make our state a better place to live. Without entrepreneurs willing to take that financial risk, these initiatives would never be capable. A family-owned business, locally run, investing back into the community that we serve. You know, I'm proud to stand here as an American. I'm proud to live in the great state of Oklahoma, but I am very proud to be part of American Environmental, a renewable landfill. I want to thank you for coming to celebrate this day with us, because today you're seeing how we're harnessing the trash of yesterday into today's power. And I think that's what is really needing to come out of this whole event is yesterday's trash becomes today's power. So as you take your tours, look around and know that you've helped make this day an accomplishment. Thank you.